Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast. So I am using something new to me. Audacity, Audacity. I don't know how you say it, but um, this is a test, I guess, and I'm testing everything out, seeing how it goes. I'm using the Audacity or Audacity with the mixer live that I just got, and I'm already hearing some sort of static or whatever. I don't know, but it's an X3 sound mixer, and so I hooked it up, and I was like, let me just do this and see, because I don't have a regular podcast recorded on Spotify yet. And I actually, if I'm being honest, I was looking for a way to podcast live, just have a live audio podcast. And I thought, well, maybe, I can use something else, like the, YouTube Twigs Kitch or whatever you call it, Twitch, Kick, whatever. Anyway, I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. So I may do this on Podbean as well. I'm not 100% sure. You can do like 2 hours of a podcast, according to AI. And so I have to figure out how to set this up. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because that would be great. I have sciatica, so if you hear any buzzing in the background, it is my TENS unit, my massager. So all of 2025 was trash, guys. And it is now the 11th day of February 2026. So it's still Happy New Year's, right? So 2025, I thought that I had bursitis, but it wasn't bursitis. Which it kind a little bit of bursitis is there, yeah, but it ended up being sciatica. So I ended up having a procedure, which was a double, what do you call it, an epidural. So I had that, and woo, child, let me tell you, that was rough. Um, it was funny because mom was like, "Did you know you were screaming in recovery?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know that I was screaming in recovery." She's like, "Yeah, I think you were in some sort of pain." I'm like, "Wow." So that was my, 2025. At the beginning of the year, I had carpal tunnel surgery, right? Um, all of my doctors were in the same DOC building, right? So my first doctor did my surgery. My recovery was like 6 weeks. Um, I actually put the procedure and everything on the internet, like the stitch removal and all that. It got some really high views. I was like, you guys are gross. You guys are really gross that you wanted to see me get my stitches taken out. But hey, I'm not judging. So I'm looking on the board here, the X3 sound mixer. The recording is up, then there's a voice changer, sound effects, accompaniment. There's a mic low, mic medium, mic high, and then there's the mic total volume. And then in the middle, there is a reverb. And then there's the monitor, right? And then you come over to the right hand side of the board. And there are things on here that I will not touch because I don't know what they do yet. There's a BT button that looks like it fast forwards or something. I don't know. It could be, for recording or something. I don't know. And then the original sound, which takes you back to, original stuff. Like if I were to mess with the sound effects or the voice changer, I could just erase all of that. And then there's something called rap. There's something called KTV, which is always flashing, right? There's something called specialty, which I haven't figured. Like I need a video on this because let me tell you, if you guys buy the X3 and it came via Amazon, you're gonna need a bigger manual or a better manual or a YouTube video because this manual is so skimpy. It's not even a manual. It's not even a user guide. It's like it tells you how to hook it up, but It's not going to tell you how to, like all the functions. It will tell you the functions, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's just really skimpy. And so I guess it's like you need to be able to figure it out by yourself, right? So we've got that. And then in the middle of the board, you have different sound effects like kiss. And I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I'm pushing the buttons as I go. The applause, which sounds like regular applause. Then you have the slap in the face. Then you have the laughter. And then there are other things called fist, despise, piano music, pit song, sadness, full house high. And then and they're all different colors. Like the kiss, the slap, the applause, the laughter are all in green. In orange, you have the six let me see. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But wow. So that was sadness, right? Um, and then buttons one, two, three, and four, which are on the other side, we're getting over to the right side. We were on the left side. Now we're getting over to the right side. One, two, three, and four, customize. And then on the far right, you have lead singer, dodge, electronic music, and noise reduction, right? And then of course the on and off button is right in the middle on the right side. So learning my left from my right. We started on the left and we ended on the right. So that's the full thing. And excuse me, I'm assuming that those blue buttons on the far right side are for like karaoke or something. Um so yeah, there's a lot going on here. And when I open up the user manual, you guys, it does tell me what things are for, but like I said, how to use them. No, like 21. If I look over on number 21, it says 8 fixed, interesting, instant trigger sounds pads for a streaming atmosphere. That's a fist. That is something I despise, right? So it tells you in clumps, you know what I mean? And then something I missed, number 22, 12-step auto tune indicator. So there's auto tune on here as well, which I have not touched. I don't know how to auto tune anything. I don't know how to do any of that. So I will learn. Hopefully there are videos on this. I don't know. There's no code to scan or anything like that. It's literally just here. So, and I didn't know. I was like, maybe I don't need this. Maybe I could do everything in OBS, which I probably could. Um, but and you guys can chime in on this, but when I think of a podcast, it's maybe because I'm old school, right? But when I think of a podcast, I think of audio. I don't think of video. I think of, straight audio. I think that podcasts were so much better back in the day when it was literally just audio, right? And I'm sitting here looking at um Audacity, Audacity, Audacity. I'm joking, guys. Uh, it's got audio setup, which I didn't even see until now. It's got share audio. It's got get effects. I mean, it's got so many things in here. Um, the tracks at the top, generate effect, analyze tools. It even has a help button. Like these things fascinate me. It tells you how long you've been talking, 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Like it's pretty cool. Things at the bottom that I don't know about, like Snap. I don't know what that is, but the box is unchecked because I'm afraid if I check the box, I'm gonna screw something up. And so, yeah. Also, I don't know if I can click away from the podcast. I'm not sure. Um I'm not a fan of doing a split screen either. So, I'll probably end up just using my tablet for this. Now, something else that I've been doing, you guys. And when I say use my tablet, I'll probably use it as like a second monitor or something because I just don't have room. I did have room, but I bought a printer because I really need a printer, and I was thinking of putting it on my side table. Um, but I need, you know, room. I need room. That's damn likely calling me. I don't understand. I don't understand how I got on the scam likely list. I really don't. How did I get on this list, guys? And how do you get off the list? 'Cause I thought I had got off the list a long time ago. And clearly, I'm still on the list. Scam likely has me on the list. And I hate it. I absolutely positively hate it. Like, what are you calling me for? What do you want? How do you know I even want what you're offering? You know what I mean? I don't want your stuff. I don't want anything to do with you. What I want right now in 2026 is to fully functionally use my computer, my Curie Tim 32 gigabyte for everything, social media, um, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. But I always have to, start with a gab session, right? I want to use it, for my podcasting. I want to use it to make my YouTube videos. Except for my vlogging channel, because that's not going to be possible. I'm literally going to have to be mobile on that. Um, unless I choose once again to buy another camera. But I definitely 100% know that if I'm vlogging, I'm going to have to um, be mobile some type of way because 9 times out of 10, I'll be taking my YouTube audience on my vlogging channel to uh, doctor's appointments, and if I have some sort of excursion, my children want me to go to the beach with them this summer. Like, it's a thing. It's a whole thing, right? And right now I'm looking around my desk trying to figure out how I'm going to charge all the things that I have. I have my regular phone. I have two other phones that I kind of use for production, mobile production, right? I have a tablet. Then there's the, computer. And my granddaughter, the 10-year-old, she says, "You love electronics." And I'm like, "Not really. I really, but it's the thing. If you're going to be a content creator, you kind of have to have some electronics." And I know that it sounds like a lot, but the reason that I have extra phones, and really I have four phones, one of them is like an emergency phone, right? The reason that I have so many phones, you guys, is because, okay, I never threw any of the phones out, and I would have had five phones, but my best friend, she lives in Arizona, and I was like, I'm gonna send you, like the best one that I have because I know everybody needs an extra phone. I just feel like everybody needs an extra phone. So yes, I have two phones that I need to hold dearly to me because one of them I need to use the other ones. Like, seriously, like, no tea, no shade. I leave it on my wall. I have this charging station that I made on my wall. I got these cell phone cases from Amazon, and you stick them on your wall or you can nail them on your wall. They have, it's versatility, right? And you can charge your phone at the bottom, pop your phone in there, out of the way while it's charging, and go on about your day. And I thought this would be great for me, because I have grandchildren. Their phones will like go dead or whatever. Or when my daughter and my son-in-law come over, whether they have the kids or not, I definitely um, want to make sure that everybody has, a charging port, a charging station. So I have that set up in my room. So there's that. Then um, I have, let me see, I do have um, other things that I can use to charge some stuff. Okay, so one of these is, most of them are C ports. I need at least, one or two for iPhones, which normally my iPhone users will bring their own, and all they have to do is charge it up, stick it in the thing, charge it up. And then there's the other little I don't know what you call them, but it's something. I don't know what you call them, but they're skinny. It's not a seaport. It's they're skinny, right? So I try to keep my stuff charged up because I have um so many things. And yeah, I try to keep everything charged up. So if you hear me, throughout my podcast fiddling because noise reduction doesn't work, um, that is why. Because I'm always, doing stuff, and I should be more. I was watching D'Angelo, and I was thinking I should be, more like D'Angelo. Um, from YouTube. If you don't watch D'Angelo on YouTube, he's 28, 29 years old. He's been doing YouTube. I call it a visual podcast, if you will, but he does deep dives, he does commentary on really interesting topics. I mean, just stuff that he feels like talking about, but it ends up blowing up every time because it's interesting. Now he has, millions of fans, a new channel that's growing rapidly because of his voice and because of his topics and because of his personality. And, cool dude, love him. Been listening to D'Angelo for years, right? And, I looked at him every time he starts his show, which 2026 he started live streaming, right? Which is like my dream. I'm just like, I live stream, but I don't have an audience, right? I have like one or two people and some stragglers that will come in, but I need a ride or die audience, right? So I'm working towards that. And I'm like, how is it that I have, 15,000 subscribers on YouTube and I can't get not one of them to come in? But if I upload something, they all come running. And I'm like, they don't know me as a live streamer and they probably don't care about live streams. So what they care about, what they care about, Twana, is when are you going to upload some more content? And so I have noticed that yeah, segueing into social media, YouTube is not social media. YouTube is a completely different animal. YouTube is that thing that people like me look for when social media has become too much. And for me, social media has become too much. I'm about to sneeze, you guys. It's sinus season. Excuse me. Bless me. But it's sinus season. And I know what that means. Find time for me to start podcasting. Seriously. Tyra Banks is there's a documentary out there with Tyra Banks. I have not watched it yet. I haven't even watched the rest of Bridgerton, which I will probably start doing that today. I watched the first episode, first season. If you guys are watching Bridgerton, chime in. Let me know, right? So, when it comes to social media, what I've done, you guys, is I started getting off of social media a couple days ago, and every day, I'm, doing things. I'm using up my coins and, sending people messages. Some of the social media apps that I don't have or I haven't curated an audience, I just like get rid of. I'll probably, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just thinking out loud. I'll probably keep Instagram because I need to get content from somewhere, right? So I might keep that. I really don't want to keep TikTok because it annoys the crap out of me. And ever since the merger, which happened the 22nd of January, things have been weird. I don't understand it. I don't know, but things have been really weird, right? You have Telegram and GroupMe, which are moving into, segueing into, hey, build an audience, come over here. You can podcast, you can go live, you can gift, you could do memberships and stuff like that. But it doesn't have a quote unquote algorithm. So people can't find you unless you tell them I'm on GroupMe, I'm on Telegram. So I do have those two for personal reasons because I don't like WhatsApp. I really don't. I still have it um because of one of the apps that I was using required WhatsApp. But now that, I'm not a host over there and I don't care to be, um WhatsApp is just not like I'm okay. If I'm being honest, you guys, I'm not a Meta fan. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. all of this stuff. I'm not a fan of. They even have this Meta tool. Um, what is it called? I don't know. It's in my production phone, and I'll tap around and see if I can find it. And you guys probably already know what it is, and I'm the oddball out because I can't remember anything. Um, Meta AI. That's what it is. I'm just not a Meta fan. Although I will say Meta AI is kind of cool. I don't like threads. I don't understand threads. Um, when I downloaded threads, they said, oh, it's like the old Twitter. It's not. I don't like it. And it's connected directly to Instagram, which I don't want to see your Instagram post twice. That you're annoying me at this point. So, I deleted Threads off of my phone. I deleted Lemonade from my phone. I deleted so many things from my phone. As far as live streaming, I think that I have too many live streaming apps. I have Clapper, I have Chatter, I have Fun Social, which has a sister app called Fun Party, where you can have a watch party and watch things with your friends. And that's the only reason I kept Fun Social over Sociable, which is an app that you can play games with and stuff like that. Favorited, I went back and forth last night with Favorited. I was like, I need to get rid of this app. However, I do have some friends that, we can go over there, we can play games. So if I'm going to keep Favorited, I'm getting rid of TikTok, right? Bigo Live, I only watch. I went live over there on a fufu the other night just to see if I could simulcast, and it actually looked good. It sounded good. People were coming in there going, "Are you going to be live again tomorrow? Because I like you." And so I don't, but they weren't even from here. I could tell by the way they were texting. However, it was pretty cool. I like the way it looked. I don't know. Um, where it categorized me or whatever. I didn't tell anybody that I was going live over there. I just hit the button to see if I could do it in conjunction with OBS, and it worked. So that was pretty cool. I don't know why more people don't do that, but I don't know. And then there's like the whole OBS thing. So when I went live a couple days ago on my YouTube channel for the Daily Pulse, I was fiddling around with my OBS, and I was like, you guys, OBS has so many plugins and this, that, and the other, and I literally need to sit here and set this up. My setup the other day was super simple um, because I was learning how to do scenes and all of this stuff, and I didn't know that you needed multiple scenes. I've been doing everything in one scene. I was like, why do you have so many? Because you need an intro, you need this, that, you need an outro, you need a break one. If you want to make a whole production out of, going to the bathroom and having a break, or if you want to make a whole, production out of, this is where my guests come in at, and we talk about, different things, or this is where uh, I show the things that I'm talking about, the media room and all of this stuff. And I'm like, holy crap. So literally I can switch between scenes, but if I'm still talking to my guests, I still need the things that I'm talking about in there. So, you still need that second screen, I think. In my head, And I have seen some pretty awesome shows being produced with OBS. Some of them look really messy, and I don't like that. So, yeah, that's not a thing or whatever. I'm not here for the messy. I like for stuff to look like a whole production and be smooth and be seamless, and that's what I'm into. I'm older. I just don't like the gamer look, the messy look. And D'Angelo tickled me. I was listening to his latest episode last night, and he was like, am I a streamer? Did I just become a streamer? D'Angelo, just because you use OBS doesn't make you a streamer. However, if you are live streaming every day, you're a streamer. So he's probably live right now because he says he goes live about noon, which could be 1 or 11. I'm Central Time, so it's 12:55 right now. So I'm assuming that he's live, but it doesn't mean he's Central. If he's in Texas, which I thought he said he was, then yeah, he went live 55 minutes ago. So I'll have to catch the replay over there. He probably streams like about an hour and a half. But on Twitch, Um, I think he said 4 hours or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, there's that. Then uh, VDO Ninja, I discovered that where I can take multiple people and put them in my OBS and you guys can see them. So I don't need, um, um, they've been using other things. To so you can have people in your boxes, so you can talk to different people like stream yards and restream and stuff like that. You can have vdo.ninja, right, and do the same thing. Then there's this thing called IRL link and IRL pro. IRL stands for in real life. So I'm checking those out today to see exactly what they are, what they do. I'm probably going to ask AI, I have this app. I don't know what to do with it. What do you do with it? Should it be on my regular phone? Should it be on the phone I take out for vlogging? It was in real life, you know what I mean? So I downloaded it because I know that, I still vlog, and I haven't in a while. I used to vlog on my regular channel, but it seems that um, me talking, kind of podcasting, kind of more commentary, is what they like over there. So, I was like, let's just go back to, you know, commentary, right? So that's what we're doing on the main channel. I thought about doing the beauty room, which is, what I would need another channel for that. And I actually did make the channel, but then I deleted it because I was like, I can do beauty on my vlogging channel. When I go live, I can game, I can sit and talk, I could do whatever I want. Now, I know gaming channels are usually um by themselves. But the thing is, I don't game like other people game, right? I'm not interested in Fortnite and, all of that stuff. I play, really simple games like versions of The Sims and, building a house, decorating. I play boring games to where I can sit and, talk to people because my thing is building community. That's what I like to do. That's why I keep community like apps on my phone, like Discord, and stuff like that. So yeah, but there are other apps like Red Note and CoverStar. I'm looking at those apps. It doesn't mean I'm gonna keep them, but they are very interesting to look at. And what gets me is the commercials, the ads. Back in the day, we called them commercials on TV, right? They're ads that I'm like, yo, this looks so good. And then when you actually get in the app, it's a totally different situation. And I'm like, where did you get that footage? Because that doesn't look like, that does not look like what I just saw. But yeah. And another thing is, and hear me out on this, okay? Don't leave yet. Hear me out. If you're still hanging with me, hang with me, okay? Did you know that you could make your own apps, right? You can. You can make your own apps. And I have been fiddling around with making my own apps for the last couple of days. And I enjoy it. Where I don't need to code and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to have a dedicated podcast for that, right? Because um I didn't know that my ideas were not out there. Every time I ask AI or I search for an app that can do certain things, you know, as a content creator, a niche app, if you will, it's not out there. I want an app, right? A social media where it's just for the beauty world. A social media app. I'm not talking about um influencer and all that kind. I'm talking about a social media app where you can post, you can go live, it, just regular social media. If I want to see your post every day, if I want to see what you're reviewing, if I want to see your live stream, if I missed your live stream and I want to, catch a replay, um, all this, I want to be able to see all of that, you know? I want to be able to talk to the person who's reviewing the product or who's just playing in makeup, and build, some sort of rapport to where I trust your reviews. There's no, ooh, I partner with L'Oreal type crap over there. No, just raw beauty talk, just, app for not an influencer. You can be if you want to be. If you love beauty, if you love makeup, if you love skincare, if you love self care, you know what I mean? What soap are you using? Why are you using it? Did you have a breakout this month? What did you do? How do you feel about pimple patches? I mean, just, you know what I mean? And people who just want to play in makeup, people who have never used makeup before, but you're interested in it to see step by step. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing. Maybe there's a beauty person out there like me who makes digital products that you can print out or you can look at and know how to cleanse your face and know how to put on, how to get your foundation smooth and this, that. And I think that would be wonderful instead of having to weed through TikTok for this stuff. I know there are different communities on said social media, and I don't want to, fall into this live stream and I'm watching this person do their makeup or talk about skincare, and then all of a sudden you start selling me stuff, or all of a sudden you're in the middle of a battle and you expect me, to gift you all kinds of diamonds or beans or, what stars or whatever it is because you're in the middle of a battle. I just came here to watch the makeup. I didn't, what?